Good morning, everybody. Good morning? Is it good morning? Good morning, everybody. It's dark, there's no sunlight, so thank you for indulging me. Welcome to our panel today. I'm very excited. My name is Kobe Wu. I'm the founder of a company called Cash AI, which is a new business. And what we do is we automate the process of establishing valuations for people in the gig economy, creators, influencers, athletes. And I'm very excited to introduce this panel. I'm going to ask them to introduce themselves, even though I've met all of them and they're lovely. But I'm going to ask them to introduce themselves so you can get a chance to know them a little bit. Aaliyah, Paldo twins. Kayla Beckwith. But please, Aaliyah, can you please start with who you are, what school you went to or go to, sport you play, and your most recent success or how you're leveraging NIL today.
Okay, so I'm Aaliyah Armstrong. I went to LSU. I just graduated in May. I'm a 100 hurdler, so I run track. And my greatest success thus far has probably been the documentary that just dropped about just the NIL world between anywhere from me to Angel to Flau'jae to Livy Dunn to Jaden Daniels. Those were all of my cast members, and that's been like my biggest milestone because I'm a little girl that grew up in California, came from nothing with a single mother. So that's just been like one of my biggest things that have happened thus far in my life, and it's turning out beautiful. But NIL has really changed my life a lot, and the documentary kind of speaks for itself. Go watch The Money Game.
There you go. Money Game, Amazon, thank you.
Well,
Welcome.
Yes.
I'm Mia Paldo,
and I'm Maya Paldo.
and we're TVC Twin Backcourt.
That's our brand. We're seniors in high school. We play basketball. We're playmakers. We don't say point guards, we're playmakers. And NAL has changed our student athlete life tremendously. Starting with a major sneaker deal that we had when we were in sophomores?
The end of our freshman year.
Yeah, something like that. But we were the first male or female to have a sneaker deal with Puma, and we were the first hoopers to have that. And that changed our life, like I said, tremendously with the attention we had, the amount of gear we got, just all of it.
Yes, and I would definitely say, I feel like that set the tone for NIL with high school athletes, male or female, especially because we were the youngest. And that let a lot of athletes know, like, it doesn't matter how old you are, what age you're in, anything's possible for you to do, especially if you put your mind to it and you just put the work in every day. And our parents play a big part in that. And we come from nothing as well. We're from Paterson, New Jersey, and we just love the game of basketball, and that's how it all started.
Awesome. Kayla?
Hi everyone, my name is Kayla Beckwith. I play basketball at the College of William & Mary, and I'm currently getting my MBA right now. And I think going to a mid-major school, NIL, and that journey is a little bit different for us. And I'd like to say that I'm still kind of navigating and learning the space a little bit more. The opportunities are a little bit few and far between just because smaller scale basketball, different division, well, still Division I, but just the scene is just a little bit different.
So one of the things that I'm hearing from all of you is you have some NIL experience or you're familiar with it, right?
Yes.
The question I have is, what are you going to do with it? And we're going to start with you, Kayla.
That's a great question, and I think for me right now, it's more so just trying to find opportunities for myself. Like I said, it's something where when you play at the mid-major level, everyone doesn't necessarily have 1 million followers. Our games might not be sold out in these huge arenas. Sometimes our games can just be our families and the opposing team's families, but it's very close-knit and it's very community-oriented. So I think right now the most of it is trying to making the most of this space and this landscape while also trying to learn it at the same time.
I love that. And I think as we get through the rest of the panel and their experience with name, image, and likeness, for those of y'all know what that is, right? We've already been there. But just so everybody knows, name, image, and likeness is allowing athletes to earn money on exactly that. And they can be compensated based on deals that are not necessarily associated with their scholarship offers, right? So just off the court. So a lot of these athletes have been able to take advantage of it or learning about it, and we're all here today to help them understand, as well as for us to understand, how NIL can change the landscape for athletes, for our brands that want to work with athletes, and getting to that next level. So, Mia, do you guys want to answer together? Or do you want to, because I know that,
We'll piggyback on each
all
other.
right, all right,
Yeah,
all right. Thank you very much. Please,
To
you want me to
start-
rephrase, or are you good?
Yeah, you can rephrase it.
So I was just wondering, like, how are you looking at name, image, and likeness to help yourself on the next level, right?
Definitely. I will build on NIL by showing the world who I am. I want the world to know what I could do on the court. Not a lot of people know what I could do on the court, but if you do know what I could do on the court, I really want you to know the personality that I have and my sister has as well, because we share a brand, and I want the brands that we work with. I'm sorry.
all good.
I want the brands that we work with to help build our brand as well, because that will expand the attention on our sport as well as our own brands as well. So that's what I really want. And then I also want to create generational wealth for my family as well. So that's the main part. And yeah.
To piggyback on what Mia said, working with different brands, we really want to show them who we are and just make ourselves global. I mean, I feel like after all of the a couple of NIL deals that we had, we are globally known with a couple of people from around the world. Not everybody. Not everybody know us, but based of like all the things that we have done, I feel like a lot of people know us. But yeah, it's really to get to know who we are, personality, and just showing that we're family oriented. Like, we're heavy on family, love, support, and like Mia said, creating generational wealth, and just wanting to prepare for the future and what holds for us. We want to have our own company. We want to be our own bosses, and we just want to use NIL for that.
Okay. Thank you for that. Aaliyah, what about you?
So as y'all know, I left LSU, but now going into my professional career, I feel like what I can take from NIL is that it taught me how to be a businesswoman. It taught me that you can't be late to places. You have to be on time. Like, you have to show up at these places. You have to be your own accountability partner. And so taking that to the professional world and track is going to be great, because there's going to be people that are going to try to get over on me. There's going to be people that, don't have the best intentions. But at the end of the day, like, I just want, like, from NIL, sorry, not what I want. I think the thing that I took from NIL was just the fact that I can still be me and thrive and still, like, get things done and things like that. So I just take that from it. Like, I take the morals from it, not necessarily the business stuff, because business is everywhere. But I just took, like, the morals from it. Like, how do you become a better woman, as just all around? So
I would like to ask you, piggybacking on that, Aaliyah, like, you're learning now that you've graduated from college, right, and you're a pro, and you've been in the money game, and you've been exposed to NIL and how you're going to leverage that. My question for you is, do you feel like NIL is going to help you do that? And what does NIL do to your decision making? Whether you're, deciding you want to work with brand or want to reach out to brand, does it impact the way you show up?
yes, NIL was humbling, but it was also empowering, because as a track athlete, you don't really get that much attention. Like, it's more of like, football, basketball. And I mean, that is perfectly fine. Like, I love the attention that women's sports is getting in general, so it's no comparison. But I will say that NIL taught me my worth a little bit more, because earlier Master P was talking about how, like, you can't just take a deal, because not all money is good money. There's no reason I should have had an offer for $750 given the athlete that I am. So I feel like taking that into my adulthood, I see my worth more in the partnership in the business industry, and nobody can get over on me anymore, because I know who Aaliyah Armstrong is, and nobody can put a limit on my worth.
That's awesome. What about you, Kayla? If you were, did you say you're getting your MBA?
Yes.
Okay, all right, fabulous. So let me ask you this. Your intention for NIL, as you're starting to tap into it, what will that do for you? Like, do you feel like you're a basketball player, you're playing D1, you're getting your MBA? What kind of decisions is NIL helping you make at this juncture? Is that an obscure question? Do you feel okay with that?
No, I think I can answer that. I think for me right now, I wouldn't necessarily say it's at the forefront of my mind, just considering everything I have going on, but I think it's like a bonus. It's something that makes me mindful of my brand and how I carry myself and what rooms I'm putting myself in and who I'm positioning myself in front of. And I think the most important part of that is just being mindful about what content you're putting out, if you're putting out content, who you're speaking to, similar to what Aaliyah said in referencing Master P. Like, who are you speaking with? What brands or what companies are you even starting to do business or even try to reach out to? Because I think at the end of the day, like, I'm my own representative, and if I'm not mindful of that, that could also potentially harm some of the other things I have going on, or maybe my use of my MBA, or just where I want to work full time. So just understanding that it's all connected and just being mindful of who I'm working with and what I'm doing and what I'm saying.
Right. So you ladies, twins, I'm looking at for you up. You guys have some experience, and you are still in high school getting ready to make that college leap.
Yes.
How do you think NIL can help you during that transition, if at all?
Can it help us?
Honestly, let's start with the platform that Tennessee has.
Yes.
They have
So sorry, wait a minute. You guys have committed to Tennessee.
Yes.
Very good. Congratulations.
Yes.
Thank
you. Thank you. Yes. So let's start with the platform that Tennessee has. They're a historical NCAA school that's known for championships. So, I mean, if that alone doesn't tell you that, that the NIL isn't big there, I don't know what else will, because our plan is to build onto that legacy, that Pat Summit had built there. So that alone will create a name for ourselves in college, along with the talent that we have on the court, but also our personalities off the court, how good we are as people, how we talk to people, how we carry ourselves. I feel like that will play a big part in itself. Walking on campus and the first time we was on campus, people were coming up to us like, "Oh, you guys, can I take a picture?" So that alone, I was just really shocked by, because we didn't even commit yet. And it was just like, wow. So imagine if we do commit and we walk on campus, the attention is going to be really big there. So, and the platform and the money, NIL.
Well, okay. So,
That's our conversation here, right?
Yes, ma'am. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about the resources that school has to help you, right? You're in high school now. I don't believe you have a collective at your high school, right?
No.
It's your mom and dad.
No.
Yes.
Exactly.
Very good. You have an amazing collective at LSU, massive NIL support. What about at William & Mary?
We don't have a collective.
All right.
So I think, like I said kind of earlier, everything right now is still in the educational process. And then fortunately, I will say that we do have a staff, like just part of our athletic department, that are trying to get the ball rolling and kind of help push in the direction of the collective. But in that mid-major space, some schools do have them. But I think right now it's all fairly new to that space, and they're just trying to figure out how it's going to work, especially at that level.
Right. And representation, do y'all have representation?
Yes. We also have an LLC too, as well.
Yes.
I'm sorry, what?
We also have an LLC as well.
I see you, DJ and Felicia. I see you. Okay, very good.
And a nonprofit as well.
Nonprofit.
Nonprofit and LLC.
Profit, and that's enough. That's enough.
Gotta
Good
get
for you.
That's so
What is the
good.
nonprofit about? Why don't you tell us about that? What is your nonprofit about?
My one.
It's called, the name of the nonprofit
Yeah.
is Beyond Beyond Ballers. And that's really to help with our business. Like I said, we want to be entrepreneurs, have our own company. So we just want to, have NIL to support that, build with brands so we can expand our brand and show people who we are, like I said, based off like our family, our talent, generational wealth, and just giving back to that so we can build off of it,
Yeah.
I feel like I see ourselves having our own company, having like a couple buildings around,
Yeah.
having people make merch and then other people doing different stuff.
Yeah, and let's talk about that. We have our own. We started our own AAU program
Yes.
that we give back to. So, the players that, well, in our 17U, we have 16U and we have 17U. Our 17U, we pay for everything. We pay for their hotels, we pay for their flights.
What do you mean you pay for it?
We pay for
Our nonprofit.
Your nonprofit?
our nonprofit.
Very good.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Thank
That's
you.
awesome.
Proud of
You
you
should be
guys.
proud of yourself.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah. Very proud of you. Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
No, it's actually really interesting to see how well-rounded you guys are thinking about your brand, right? And how you are actually leveraging your school. It's almost like the school might be leveraging you a little bit, but you have turned that around and said, actually, we're here for the period of time that you can help us do what we want to do. And I think that that's very compelling and interesting. Kayla, I want to chat with you for a sec because at William & Mary, there's not the same kind of resources. But you are getting an MBA.
Yeah.
And you have certain desires for yourself that can be enhanced by NIL.
Absolutely.
My question for you is, what do you think you will do first? When are you graduating?
This spring.
What will you do after graduation? And how will you leverage NIL?
I think, well, that's a question I still want the answer to.
Okay,
What will I be
fine.
doing
That's fair.
in the spring? But hopefully I'll have a job. That'll be nice. And then I think from there, I do want to, a goal of mine would be to expand the NIL space in at the mid-major level and just either get brands and different companies to understand that that's a huge window of opportunity. I do have to kind of give a shout out because they're here today, but
Do it.
Zinx is a great company that's been kind of helping and understanding that there is a massive market in that mid-major level despite despite how many followers a student athlete has, despite what they might have going on their social media, but every kid and every athlete has a story, and that story can be used to inspire others. It can be monetized. It can be leveraged in helping understand or kind of just getting them in front of brands to realize their potential. So that will be definitely a goal of mine, is to kind of understand, even whether it's William & Mary or just other schools on that mid-major level, it's just kind of growing the NIL space and landscape to provide the same opportunities that each of you have. And just kind of helping students leverage that.
Super. Now, Ms. Leah, you are coming off the money game, right? And you have recently graduated, and I think that you and I have spoken a lot. And so I know firsthand that you are cultivating your mindset around the potential. Now, just to put some color in the room for everybody, Aaliyah is a U.S. champion. She tried out for the Olympics this year. And while she was not there, the opportunity is obviously, the eyes are on, go ahead, LA 28.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Let me.
That was a fill-in.
Yeah. Let me introduce myself again. Yeah, I will be in Los Angeles in 2028. I speak that over myself. I even got a tattoo. I will be there.
That's so cute.
Thanks.
So I think what you have the opportunity to do, especially coming off the money game, is to position yourself a little bit different. How do you think you will leverage your own brand now, right? What you know of yourself, what you know of the space, and how you can leverage that for getting to LA 28.
Okay, so in coming off the money game, I kind of like unintentionally was the star of the film. I didn't know that. But upon watching it, my social media has like went crazy. Like there's so many people that just flock to my page and is like, oh my gosh, I love your story. You're so inspiring. And so what I took from that is that people are inspired by me, and I've found my purpose in that. Like that's something that I just want to do, is inspire. So whether that's make it to the Olympics, whether that's go to Worlds, God gave me the vision, and it's going to happen regardless. If I seen it, it can happen. And so I just think that using my brand and using my personality, kind of like everybody else was saying on the panel, is so important, because people just want to be related to. They just want to be understood. So if I can be the person that can inspire and show them that your journey may not be perfect, but it's beautiful in the end, then I would be that person.
Yes.
Beautiful.
So bringing it home, we've only got a few seconds left, right? And I'm going to tie it back to what Cash does, the company that I came up with, right? Is you guys all have a position in women's sports where you need to know your value, right? How much does your own fortitude versus data help you understand your value? Make sense?
Yeah.
Let's go
I'm
with you.
starting.
Yeah, you start.
I would say the data from at least the way you're doing it, I can respect a lot more because it's going based off of who I am as a person, like what the things that I value, the morals that I have, and not necessarily how many followers I have. So I think it's really important to kind of contrast those and weigh them because it's more important to be a likable person than to be someone with a lot of followers.
Authentic.
Yeah.
Tracking,
Please.
backing on like authenticity. Your app is interesting to, like she said, like contrasting the how you are and then like the numbers, but also like we love to meet people in person and give them a vibe and like see how they interact with us, and that's why I think it's like 50-50 with that.
That's right.
Because instead of like technology, we like the natural feeling with someone else, and we want them to feel our energy and how we act and interact, because then they'll truly know the type of people we are, and they'll feel that. Like I feel like we have big energies, and it spreads.
Big
so.
energy, just a little bit. Yeah.
Maya said it all. I definitely prefer in person than AI or online because, you know, for basketball, college coaches or brands look at whether you're ranked in a country, and that's how they go based off how much you're valued. But really, those really don't matter because you could be the number one player in a country, but cannot have a conversation with somebody. So, and I feel like that's just real life, you know. So having a real conversation with somebody goes a long way.
I appreciate that. And I know we're wrapped, but please let me just ask you, Kayla, if you have a similar answer.
Yeah, I think my answer is similar. I think that like I said, there's a huge window of opportunity, and I think looking at it from who everyone is as a person and what their values are, it's more relatable, and I think it provides more opportunities for others in that space that wouldn't necessarily get them, like you said, if they're not the number one ranked player in the country, or if they don't have a certain number of followers. Well, I think it just expands the opportunity, and you're missing out on a whole bunch of great personalities.
There you go.
Facts.
That's the way to end it. Thank you. All right, everybody. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate the questions.
Thank
and
you.
answers.